Hey guys, okay, I promised you a short series on Walt Disney recipes, and this is called Walt Disney's Chili. There's a few weird things about it from the food blog that I got it from. I guess they publicly released it. I guess it's a carnation place that you can get Walt Disney's Chili. Must be the Carnation ice cream shop. I don't know why chili would be in an ice cream shop, but so there's a few weird things about this. Number one, it talks about in the instructions of the recipe, it says, okay, at this point, add the paprika and the thyme. Nowhere in the recipe is paprika or thyme. So I'm like, well, how much am I adding? It doesn't say. It's in the instructions, but it doesn't say anything in the recipe, paprika or thyme. It has other seasonings we're going to show you in a minute. Number two, it says this recipe is owned by Disney. Okay, if you've ever been in the food business, you cannot own a recipe. Once a recipe is released, like the KFC 12 herbs and spices of Kentucky Fried Chicken, once that was released, anybody can make it. It's check with a lawyer. You can't right protect a recipe. Okay? Once it's publicized, it's for anybody to use. Okay? So that's the second thing. The third thing is I've never tasted Walt Disney's chili. So I don't know if this is a great rip-off recipe or not a good rip-off recipe or what. I'll know if it's a good chili. That's all I can tell you. All right? So you'll have to make it and you'll have to tell me if it tastes anything like the one that Disney makes or you've had in the park or something, okay? But in the meantime, I've got all the ingredients. Come on in close and we'll run down them all. All right, here we go. These are all the ingredients for Disney's chili, okay? Let's run down this. This is like a beef bouillon. This is a brand called Better Than Bouillon. Kind of the same thing, beef bouillon. It's supposed to be really flavorful, all right? We got cumin, cayenne pepper. I want to talk about this onion for a moment. Do you see these roots at the bottom of the onion? That tells you that onion was grown in America. A lot of overseas onions are onions from China. Same with the garlic. A lot of them, when they don't have these roots at the bottom, it means they've worn off like in traveling overseas. So if you're trying to stay American, go with produce that has these little hairs at the bottom of the root. All right? Garlic, onion. I don't know if there's anything else, but that is what I heard. I have no idea if that's true or not. But this recipe has an onion in it. I'm going to believe the hairs mean it's from America, so I'm buying that onion. All right? So you got an onion, green bell pepper, a pound of ground beef chuck, onion powder, garlic, diced tomatoes, tomato paste, beans, stew meat, all right? And then for topping, we're doing sour cream, diced tomatoes, and shredded cheese, all right? So this is pretty much it. So let's throw this all together. Let's first prepare everything in its own dish. Make sure we have everything measured out properly. It's called mise en place, or mise en place. I think it's mise en place. It's a French term. It means everything in place, everything prepared. So we're going to measure everything out before we put it together. Okay, before we start to throw everything in our pressure cooker to make our chili, we've got to prepare everything, the meat and the vegetables, like we always saute them. So we're going to brown all our meat. We're going to saute all our vegetables. You guys ready? A little bit of olive oil. Make sure you got a flame. Yep, got the flame. And let that heat up. Let's get our meat in first. We're doing stew meat and we're doing ground beef. Got it all broken up. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, A little bit more extra pepper because I like pepper. Okay, so here's the rule. If you're getting fat out of this meat and it leaves a little bit of grease, that's what you're going to use to saute your vegetables. If it's completely dry pan, then you want to go to a little bit more olive oil to saute your vegetables, okay? So just kind of watch this. That's kind of the rule if it doesn't say in the directions. It's so funny, while I was pulling everything out for this recipe, I saw bacon. I'm like, oh, I want to put bacon in it. I saw cayenne pepper, and I'm like, oh, I want to put some chili powder in it. And I'm like, wait, if I put anything in this recipe, it's not Walt Disney's chili anymore. I've got to make it exactly like the recipe says. So these are the exact ingredients that the recipe says. All right, lower your flame as you take the meat out, or I'm just going to turn my flame off completely. Make sure all the meat's been browned. Come in here and scoop it all out. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of liquid to saute our vegetables. I may replace it with just fresh oil, because this looks like water. It doesn't look like grease, does it? A little bit of grease in there. Take your time, get all the meat out. We don't have to wait too long on that oil because we know that pan is already hot. We just poured out the water that came out of the meat. So let's get started. Get our onions in. Put your bell peppers in. And get those all softened. Now when you start to see a glossy shine on your vegetables, you don't want to overcook your garlic, so you wait a little bit to get those vegetables started, then throw in your garlic. Go ahead and mix that in. That garlic should be smelling up your kitchen any moment with those onions and peppers going. Beautiful. Okay, first thing we do is put in our sauteed vegetables. Put those in. Next thing is our browned meat. Putting in our diced tomatoes. That's going to be some of the liquid that the pressure cooker needs. Remember, whether you have a Ninja Foodi or an Instant Pot, you will burn if you don't have a cup of water in here. So we're going to add a cup of water just to make sure we don't burn our chili, because it looks like it's going to be a thick chili. Put a little bit of water in here at the bottom. Not too much, just enough to take care of our stuff. We're going to squeeze in our tomato paste. Now, tomato paste is if you're making like a sauce and you need a thickening agent. That's what tomato paste is for. Don't forget your beans. Rinsed and drained. Then we're doing 2 tablespoons of this thick stuff. I'm doing heaping. See that? All right, here comes seasoning. Sprinkle it around. Here's your cumin. I gotta be honest, this doesn't look that great, but this is his chili. So we'll try it out. A little cayenne pepper. This is gonna cook in 20 minutes, what would normally take, 3-4 hours, stuff like that, okay? So what you wanna do is get it all mixed in together. You want all these flavors to meld. Well, now it looks beautiful, doesn't it? Looking really good, like a real chili. Get the lid on. There you go. Make sure your valve is closed to seal. Not vent, but seal. When that pops up, it's going to be at pressure and we start cooking. So we're going to cook this for 20 minutes and we'll see you in a bit. Okay, it just beeped. That means it's done. Do me a favor, keep your face away when you open the valve. I remind everybody every single video. Use a glove to open the valve so you don't steam burn your hand, okay? Now stay back and then just pull it open. All right, guys, everything is coming along just fine. One other thing I always remind you of about when cooking with your pressure cooker, when you lift your lid, it cooks with liquid. That's how it heats up, builds pressure. Heats up the liquid, builds pressure inside. So when you lift the lid, there's going to be either water or chicken broth or whatever you're cooking, okay? Here we go, watch. There we go. Water's coming out of the lid. Let it drip over the lid. There we go. Put that over here. Put you down there. Give us a good mix. That's about the consistency I have in mind. Everybody's like, it looks like soup. Well, that's fine. Call it soup. I don't care. It's Walt Disney soup. But no, that's chili. That looks great. Now, you know, every chili, we got to put some topping on it. Usually people put diced onions or cheese or something like that. We're going to top ours the way Walt Disney topped his. Disney always put some sour cream in there. Just drop it right in there, okay? Disney always took fresh tomatoes. I don't know why. There's already diced tomatoes in this chili, but this is the way Disney did it. All right, so fresh tomatoes. And some shredded cheese. And that is Walt Disney's chili right there. Don't forget, as always, the recipe's down below. I left that paprika and thyme comment out of the recipe because the recipe doesn't ask for paprika and thyme. Not sure why they told you to put it in at that moment. But anyway, so let's give us a try. Like to mix our cheese in and our sour cream. Here we go. That is a strong chili. Guys, the amount it asks for, wow, it's really good. It's not really spicy hot, but it's peppery. So the cumin brings that Mexican flavor out. The cayenne pepper gives it a little bit of heat, not a lot. Yeah, I'd eat this in the park. It's supposed to be at the Carnation place is what I read in the article. I don't know. So look for Walt Disney's chili, or since the park's not open, probably won't be open all year, who knows? They're slowly reopening. Go ahead and make it yourself, and we have more Disney recipes coming. Everybody's been asking for that Dole Whip. I don't know what that is. But anyway, we're going to be making that probably on the next episode, all right? I love you guys, and remember, this show is the happiest place on earth. No, just kidding. See you later.